your bow.
Oi!
You're lucky at the
Back.
cameras out because I'd f***ing ragged all your boot.
Come back! You're a fake, that's why you don't advertise exactly what the thing is about.
This week, police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow.
In Scotland over the weekend, children and parents were shedding tears of disappointment over a Willy Wonka-themed event that turned out to be very wonky, and they got to meet what appears to be a meth lab Oompa Loompa. I don't know, but...
They thought they'd got a golden ticket to a world of pure imagination, but the reality was far from a magical chocolate-fueled day out.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
One more introduction from yourself. Who are you and what's your name?
I am Michael Archibald, 18 years old, and I was one of the actors hired to play Willy Wonka in this chocolate nightmare.
So I am Kirsty Patterson, and I was the meth head Oompa Loompa.
My name's Clay Mitchell and I'm the founder of Box Hub.
My name's Matthew Waterfield and I'm the operations manager at Box Hub.
It was labeled as the House of Illuminati, but as we all know, that is run by one person and one person only, which was Billy Cole.
Do you want me to be completely honest? Do you want me to be completely honest?
Yes.
Right.
I think it's amazing to see how powerful the media can be. We've got Lad Bible, the New York Times, we've got NBC, E! News reaching out to us directly, asking for a statement. Like, is absolutely madness, if you ask me.
Initially it was really worrying. I was so anxious all of Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, just not knowing how people were going to be reacting to us as a business. I was really worried that it was going to be portrayed that we had, you know, a much bigger part in this event than we did.
Because, right, I'm 18 years old. I've been estranged since I was 17, so I've been living on my own for almost 2 years now. And I just really wanted to be able to get some kind of like job, do something of the sort. I ended up going through this whole application process. It was like, join us as Willy McDuff and give these kids a really good time, essentially. Bring their imaginations to life, and I thought that was great, you know. I could smash that. I've done a higher in drama, I can talk to kids, I can be captivating if I need, and you know what, bonus, I've got a funny American accent even though I'm not from there.
So when I saw myself as a viral meme, to be honest with you, what I did is I wanted to run away and just not speak to anyone, to be honest with you, and I just turned my phone off for 2 days because it was just too overwhelming. And the bad comments about my appearance, I just found it a bit much, especially when I didn't put my image out there, basically.
Initially, Box Hub team was very excited about taking this event on, but as things started to develop, we really started to question if this event was legitimate or if it was going to be conducted properly or if it was just a complete, just a scam.
The very nature in which this event space operates from a Box Hub perspective is we make this venue available as a total dry hire, so effectively we serve as just the landlords. But it all sort of begs the question as, you know, what right do we have to tell another business what to do when they've paid us just for the venue?
So I've applied, and it wasn't as expected because this was quite an urgent thing, and what they were looking for was an urgent casting. They called me at 8 p.m. the same day I applied, which had been on the Thursday the 21st. A lot of people were asking about how was the rehearsal process, how were the auditions. There wasn't any auditions.
I think the event organizer really underestimated how much time, how much work, and how you need to have everyone working together. And there were so many people that weren't familiar with this space. So for him to expect all his staff to come in and everything to work like clockwork was just ridiculous, to be honest.
And it was essentially this casting application form that I had to fill out, which was just details about me, why I think I'd be absolutely smashing at the role of Willy McDuff, which is, as we know, basically just knock off Willy Wonka. They asked for a headshot of our faces, and that was about it. That was the whole process done and dusted, and then came the mess of the Friday and the Saturday afterwards.
To be honest with you, the parents and the kids were just lovely towards me, so I never once felt unsafe. I think it's more, I'm trying to turn this into a positive now. I think it's more when you're walking about the street and then you're recognised of absolutely everyone. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I do see the funny side of it, but it is just I mean, a week ago I was just a normal person and walking down the street, so it is a lot. So one thing I can say has came from the event, I have really connected with the other actors involved, and we've all actually really supported each other through this kind of wild time, and I think I have met friends for life.
Yeah, I think like the timing of this event is quite funny, to be honest. If I look back at it now, I had a holiday scheduled, so I was leaving the country to go to Austria. So I met Billy and the team from House of Illuminati on the Friday while they were setting up, and then prior to that I was leaving the following day, so I left Matt to deal with the absolute chaos. So the first thing was probably just Matt reaching out to me and getting in touch after I'd landed. To my knowledge, I believe a lot of families were waiting outside for around 40 minutes before they were scheduled to come in. At this time, Matt was on the phone to me, kind of slightly worried that customers were already on a kind of a down mood towards the event organisers. So if they were walking in to an event disheartened already and coming in and seeing the place how it was, that there wasn't going to be a good reaction, and it's fair to say he was absolutely spot on there.
Mid-event, I'd been called down by our chief stewards. There had been a massive negative sort of response to the Willys Chocolate Experience. Loads of unhappy parents, and quite rightfully so. The event organisers had decided to cancel the event amid a lot of sort of refund scrutiny. Things are starting to get quite aggressive. And our stewarding personnel on site, a company called SDS, who we use really frequently, they recommended that the best course of action was to be calling the police to avoid any potential harm, especially with loads of children around. So nice, easy decision, especially when considering the welfare of families and children and event staff.
All of these parents are sitting and they're staring daggers right into our souls, and they're like, like, what is this? And I had to go and just waffle the entire way through. Luckily, we did receive some pay, and I say this like really, really seriously, like some pay. All the men had, including myself, had only gotten 250 of the receipt of the pay, and all of the women had only gotten 200 of the pay.
What was the total pay?
500 each. Everyone was supposed to get 500. This was advertised as something that people would, you'd partake in, and then you'd get 500 pounds from the weekend. Talking to some of the parents, and they were like, oh my God, like all these tickets, they're absolutely ridiculous. Like this isn't as advertised. And I was like, well, actually, I'm one of the actors. And they were like, there's no way. So I was able to say, well, by the way, that's your guy over there. Like that's Billy Cole. Take photos of him if you want. And I think I might have accidentally started this Mexican wave of people just absolutely like hammering down on this guy because I was like, well, don't say it was me. And I just kind of let them do their thing from there because, they deserve to know what's happening because this wasn't as advertised. They were conned. And it was also really sad for the kids.
The owner and director of House of Illuminati, he blended in with all of this sort of event support staff, just walking around with a little Willys Chocolate Experience event staff hoodie, trying to, I think, disguise himself from all the really angry parents. So he was lurking around up here. If you imagine this venue full of props, it was quite easy to hide. He tried to sort of pawn that job off onto myself and to the venue security to be dealing with all of his unhappy customers. In all fairness to him, I can imagine sort of felt the weight of the world on him, but that's the kind of stakes you're playing with when you're running, a really large-scale family event. You've been taking money from, from hard-working people, and you're promising kids the world. It's a really dangerous sort of market to be trying to cut your teeth with. We've got loads of other, really important bookings, and we really can't afford as a business to be losing them off the back of someone else's negligence. Seeing the place when it was, apparently finished was almost comical. Even more so the fact that, Billy and the other guys from House of Illuminati were under the impression that the setup was incredible. I mean, they were walking me through the space, describing all the various sort of little rooms and the wee sort of mirror tunnel, and they were saying it was such enthusiasm. I was really having to bite my tongue.
And everyone was just kind of, it was like the security, the box staff, production staff, us, we all were kind of, everyone thinks we're involved in it when it has actually nothing to do with us at all. So I'm sorry, box staff, you got the brunt, actually seen people go for you, but
in reality, it was all down to Billy. It wasn't anyone else's fault. None of the crew, none of the staff, none of the people at the box up either, which I'm not sponsored to say that. It's just the fact of the matter, and to none of the security. It was straight up just Billy.
We did have STV News, who they actually just showed up at the warehouse. I think it was the following day after the event. STV News were here, they wanted to do an interview. It'd be really good to get you on camera and to kind of say your side of the story. We've got one of the actors here, we've also got one of the families that were here. So we kind of saw it as an opportunity, to be honest, to get our say. But it's amazing how they'll manipulate the situation to, they just want everything to be headline news, seeking the negatives, whereas Matt actually spoke to STV on camera and they just cut his part out completely, and didn't shed light on how we were separate from it. They mentioned Box Hub. They didn't really give us an opportunity to kind of say our part.
So yeah, say your piece about the sign, Matt, where it's being sold and why it's being sold.
Well, I mean, we've listed this sign on eBay as, a very good sign. I think it's because, you can see obviously it's just that. To be serious, we just decided that given the sort of global traction that this event had gained, that it would be right to see something good come from this. So selling this on eBay, it's already got bids of over £1,000. It's all going to go to a Glasgow Children's Hospital charity. If I had to sum up the event in one word, it would definitely just be shambles.
If I hear one more mention of Wonka from one of my friends saying, "What is that? It's the unknown," I'm going to lose my marbles.
It's the unknown.
I'm going to call the police.